All right. Shalom, 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 Israel. Right. Bear with me. Right. Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Right. Before we get started, I'm gonna get the book of Second Corinthians, chapter 10, and verse number 4. Right. It says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mightily through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds," right? And we have multiple strongholds within this so-called Israelite community, right? And we're gonna be tackling them one by one, right? We're gonna tackle sex being marriage, right? We're gonna tackle polygyny, right? We're gonna touch on Exodus chapter 21, verse 11, and we're gonna break it down through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because this got to stop, right? And it got something to do with the women and the men, right? And they both is doing it all wrong, right? So let's read verse 5. It says, "Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh," right? These things exalted itself against the knowledge of the Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because it goes against the commandments, it goes against the laws, right? It goes against the prophets, it goes against the apostles, right? And what they taught, right? And it said, "And bring it into captivity every thought to the obedience of a Mashiach," right? So the first thing we're going to touch on is Exodus chapter 21, verse 11, right? Let's bring it out. Right, this is Exodus 21 and verse 11, right? And it say, "And if he do these things," right, we start from verse 10. "If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish, right? And if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go out free without money," right? So you got sisters saying, right, verse 11 is saying that if this man does not do these three things, right, which is providing for her food, clothes, right, and the sexual intimacy, right, which is the duty of marriage, right, she can go free, meaning that she can go marry another man. And that's far, they cannot be far the farthest from the truth, right? And it's not speaking on that, right? And we're gonna properly break it down in this context, because Exodus 21 and 10 is even has something to do with it. It's not speaking on an Israelite man just straight up having multiple wives, right? So we gonna go up, man. We gonna go up, right? We start from verse 7, right? It's Exodus 21 and 7. It said, "If a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant, she should not go out as the manservants do," right? Because every 7 years, the manservants used to go free. But it's different for a woman, right? And it say, verse 8, it say, "If she please not her master who have betrothed her to himself," right? So this is dealing with the Hebrew servants, right? And it's talking about the master, right? He buy a woman, or a father sells his daughter to him, and he might say, "Well, hey, I like her, she's beautiful, I want to betroth her to myself," right? Then shall he let her be redeemed, right? So she don't please him, and he don't really like her, right? So it's talking about, if he doesn't like her, he can't just sell her off to anybody, right? The father would have to buy her back, right? To sell her to a strange nation, he shall have no power, seeing that he have dealt deceitfully with her, right? So this talking about a master and his property, right? And the father sells his daughter into servitude, right? And the master that he sell her to, he ended up taking a liking to her, right? She beautiful, she might be fine. Hey, I want this, I want her, I want to betroth her to myself, right? Instead of her working for me, I want her to be my wife. But he ended up not liking her, right? So if he ended up not liking her, she can't please him. He can't just sell her off to just anybody, right? The father would have to buy his daughter back, right? Right. Verse 9. And if he had betrothed her to his son, now he's dealing with the son, right? He paid for her, right? I want him to deal with my son. All right. He should deal with her after the manner of daughters. Now, instead of treating her like a slave, right, I have to treat her like my daughter. Right. Now she's my daughter-in-law. Right. And it say, if he take him another wife, it's talking about the son-in-law, right? Not the son-in-law, Salakia, but his son, the son of the slave master, right? The Hebrew slave master. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish, right? And if he do not these three things to her, then she can go free without money. So this is talking about a Hebrew maid servant, right? So if he's not getting taken care of, right, the Hebrew maid servant can go free without money. This is not applying to a marriage, right? It's not applying to the regular marriage. This is applying to a maid servant who's been betrothed, right? So no, you cannot leave your husband, right? You cannot leave your husband because he can't provide for you. That's not what that's talking about. And a lot of you women gonna get put to death, man, for teaching that. Right? It's dealing with the Hebrew slave master and his son. Right? When you go up, Exodus 21st chapter is dealing with servitude. Right? It's dealing with the Hebrew servants. Right? If I pay the diary for a Israelite woman, she can't go free. She can't just go free anytime she wants. It's not in the same sense, and that's why context is very, very important, right? So you a brother or you a sister, and you teaching this, you going off. You are bound to that man as long as he lives. You can't just go remarry. And that comes from the sisters teaching sex, not marriage, because they won't out their marriage, so they find it any and little way to get out of it, right? Because they picked the wrong man, because they picked a horrible dude, and he might not be what he paid off to be, but that's the man you married, and you got to deal with it. The only thing you can do is go to the Most High and pray for that. You can't just go hop on the next man ride because he not providing for me, so I can just go. What's gonna happen when the next man not providing for you? You gonna just hop on the next ride, right? That's gonna be adultery and fornication, man. So no, Exodus 21:11 is not saying that you can remarry. You are bound to that man as long as he lives, right? Now, we broke that down. Let's deal with the polygyny, right? You sisters have to stop with the games, right? You have no right, you have no jurisdiction to tell that man, your husband, what he can and not do, right? That man out breaking his back, right? He's providing, he's taking care of you. You have nothing to worry about, right? And excuse my language. Who the fuck are you to say that man can't have another wife? What law that tells us that? Since some of you sisters want to be so big on the law, what law that says that man cannot have another wife? Right? What you gonna use? Deuteronomy 17:17? Right? Let's bring that up. Deuteronomy 17:17. You say neither. We start from verse 16, right? And it say, but he shall not multiply horses to himself, right? It say he should not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt, to end that he shall multiply horses. For as much as Yahweh have said unto you, ye so much henceforth return no more that day. Right? So y'all not looking at Yahweh saying, this talking about the king of Israel, by the way. He said, hey, you should not be multiplying horses to yourself. Y'all don't want to read that part. Right? Y'all want to go to verse 17. Neither should he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turned out away, neither shall he greatly multiply himself silver and gold. Right? So when you read this with a spiritual eye, right? The Most High said, hey, he can't have no wives, because King David had wives, Solomon had wives, right? And that's the number one example that people want to use when Solomon went off. Solomon didn't go off to his old age. They got Solomon in old age. Israel lived peacefully for 40 straight years, right? Solomon didn't get the kingdom split until he was of old age. He didn't know about to give up the ghost. So you really can't use that to say polygyny is a sin, right? Right. So with this context, what these verses are saying is, a king should not be greedy. He should just be trying to multiply wealth, horses, wives, right? His focus should be on teaching Israel, leading Israel, right? But y'all forgot that Yahweh added wives to King David. Yahweh added wives to Solomon. He gave Solomon riches, certain riches, because Solomon asked for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's what a king's heart should be on: wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? And be able to lead Israel, right? So he said, don't be greedy. Don't try to multiply all these things, right? Because if you do, hey, your heart can turn away. That's what it's saying. It's not saying a man can't have multiple wives. So this far after, right? See, even Cain, wicked ass. Cain had multiple wives, and his sons had multiple wives. So that's for you sisters to say, well, you got to be a righteous man. Yeah, you got to do this, you got to do that. They wicked ass had multiple wives. And I'm not saying a man can just be wicked and do that. It has to be done right. It has to be done in righteousness, right? Because at the end of the day, we are Israelites. They're heathens. Heathens had multiple wives. There's literally no excuse. You can't get around it, right? So if you're saying polygyny is a sin, you are in sin. You are in danger of breaking the law, statute, and commandments, right? And I ain't even got to go deep, because we already know this. We already know that the Bible supports polygyny. It's you women that don't support it. And it really shows how you hate the truth and how you hate the Bible. Right? This Bible, these scriptures don't go according to your feelings and how you feel and how you want it to be. Right? Because you want control. Because you want the power. You want the power to be able to withhold sex from your husband. That's why y'all do it. What's the number one thing a woman withholds when she's mad at her husband? She take away sex. And you know, if a man getting another wife, you're not gonna be able to do that. So it takes away power. Y'all women want power, man. Because Esau, the so-called white man, give you all these rights. He gives you liberty, man. And we know what the scriptures say about giving a woman liberty. Let's break that out. Right? You willing to go over your husband. You willing to disrespect your husband. This is how I know y'all disrespect your father. Because before you get sold off to a man, your father is over you. Your father is your head. Right? But y'all don't have fathers. Most of y'all sisters don't have fathers in the household. And if you do, hey, that's sad. And before I continue, there's nothing wrong with monogamy. Monogamy is not bad. But that's not the only marriage that Yahweh ordained. Right? Monogamy is not the only marriage Yahweh ordained. Right, let's get Sirach 25:25. It said, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gather abroad. That's who's against polygyny, wicked women. They hate the fact that a man is in charge. They don't want to listen to a man. They got that I want my man all to myself spirit. Right, in these last days, hey, that's not going to work. These are the so-called white man is not going to be able to come in and swoop you and save you no more. You're going to have to deal with it. And I understand, brothers, some brothers out here doing it all wrong. Some brothers do it because they just want to hop in some new fresh vagina. And I understand that. But it's not a sin. No matter what happened, no matter the experience that you had with it, it does not make it a sin. I don't know how many times we got to say that to you sisters. You sisters are wicked, man. Y'all don't listen. You want a man to come in and take care of you and provide for you and lead you when you can't fucking listen. Right? Your vagina already blown the fuck out. But you gonna tell a man what he can and cannot have. And excuse my language, but it gotta come out this way. You'll be sick and tired. And you wicked, weak ass niggas too, man. Who going up against, what type of man goes up against polygyny? Right? It gotta be a man who can't get women. It gotta be that. Israel comes from polygynous marriages. There will be no 12 tribes of Israel. How come a woman can only get pregnant once every 9 months, but a man can get multiple women pregnant? He can get 100 women pregnant within the first couple hours. Come on now. That tells you right there it's supposed to be like that. And when we get into the kingdom of heaven, it's going to be polygyny. Right? And you're not going to be able to go up against it because Yahweh is going to renew you. And this is how you know you sisters are not renewing your mind. You can come to the truth with multiple baby daddies. But a man can have multiple wives. Right? And you already know who to blame for this. I blame IUIC for this, man. Because IUIC teach that. They are against polygyny. And they teach sisters this. So sisters' brain, it just scramble eggs. They don't one woman, one man. That's not the only ordained marriage. Right? Let's go to Romans 12. Right? Y'all not renewing y'all mind. Right? I say, I beseech you therefore, verse 12. It's Romans 12:2. And be not conformed, so like be not conformed to this world. That's the problem. A lot of you sisters are still conformed to this world. You have to follow the laws of the land. Yeah, the land. You guys, it's coming from the same laws that ordained and made homosexuality legal. Right? When they ban the Bible, when the family of the word come and you can't read the Bible, we're gonna see if following the laws of the land still gonna be in effect. Right? And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Y'all not renewing your mind. Y'all coming to the truth halfway in. Right? With your baggage, with your multiple baby daddies and your 10 bodies. I don't want to hear, oh, we a new creature in Christ. I don't want to hear that, because that don't bring that body count down. That don't bring that hymen back. That ye may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. Polygyny is the will of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. How we know? Let's get Sirach. Sirach 15:20. He said, he have commanded no man to do wickedly, neither he have given any man license to sin. Right? And when King David went off, right, the Yahweh told him, why did you do this? If you wanted more wives, I just would have gave you more wives. I just would have gave it to you. Right? How you gonna tell a king, right, the king of Israel, that he only can have one wife? How you gonna tell that man that? Right? 2 Samuel 5:13. It say many sons and daughters were born into King David. Many sons and daughters. You couldn't do that with one woman. You only can have one. A woman can only have one child once every 9 months. Y'all sisters. It shows that you sisters, man. Y'all hate y'all sisters for real. Y'all be the main one advocating. Oh, I love my sis. Right? I love sis. Right? Until it come down when you have to show your husband. That's the deal breaker right there. Right? And most of y'all had side niggas. All type of stuff. Most of y'all got babies by a man who has multiple baby mamas. But when you get into the truth, that's a sin. Man, let's get Deuteronomy 4:2. Just because you had a bad experience, don't make something a sin. Just because you have a bad experience, don't mean sex ain't marriage, man. And I've seen plenty of sisters go down that route. They marriage didn't work out. Now sex ain't marriage. But you still having sex though. Where's the laws of the land with that though? You on your 5th husband, but sex ain't marriage. But you want to tell me I gotta follow the laws of the land, which the laws of the land allows adultery. It allows it. It allows another man to sleep with your wife. So don't sit here and tell me you follow the laws of the land when the laws of the land goes against the scriptures. That's talking about following a damn traffic light. Right? It said, this Deuteronomy 4:2. It said, ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish out from it, that ye may keep the commandments of Yahweh, your power, which I command you. Right? Proverbs 30th chapter tells us that every word of Yahweh is pure. Right? Psalms 19 tells us the law of the Lord is perfect. Right? Let's get Sirach. Alright, I believe it's Sirach in the 34th chapter. It said the law should be found perfect without lies. Right? This Sirach 34:8. It said the law should be found perfect without lies. And wisdom is perfection to a faithful mouth. The law should be found perfect without lies. Right? So we know the law is perfect. We know the law doesn't condemn polygyny. You sisters to condemn it. Because y'all in your feelings. Right? Because it takes away power. It takes away the power from you. And when you sisters get in the truth, you see your power taken away. Because now it's not about you. Right? And it shows through your works. You can stream I love you, how about Shemi Al Shah all day, but through your works, it shows that you hate the truth. You got all these laws and precepts that showed you that polygyny is lawful. We're just going to skip over them. We're going to skip over it. But you want a man to come provide for you and take care of you and pay all the bills, but he can't have another wife. You women are delusional, man. Right? I'm going to close out with this. And the next lesson, Lord willing, is going to be sex is marriage, man. Bugged out, man. This is bugged out. You niggas and you women are bugged out, man. Right? This is Isaiah 4:4. And this is going to happen very, very soon. Right? It's not just going to happen to the sisters. It's going to happen to you niggas too, man. Y'all got to get cleansed too. Right? This is Isaiah 4:4. It said, when Yahweh shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof, and by the spirit of judgment, and by the spirit of burning. Right? So you sisters are going to have to be renewed. Y'all going to have to be cleansed. Right? Y'all filth is going to have to be washed away. Because y'all can't get with the program. Y'all just can't get with the program. Because you wanted to be about you. And how you feel. Right? Y'all hate masculinity. Y'all want masculinity as long as you can control it. But you're going to come to find out that you have no jurisdiction. You have no say-so when it comes to a man leading his household in righteousness. When it comes to making decisions, when it comes to getting another wife. You have no jurisdiction. And you got these weak dudes telling you do. Right? So I just had to come on here and do a breakdown, do a little rant. Because this is ridiculous. Nobody talks about polygyny more than a woman that hates it. And then y'all want to go here and say, well, polygyny is being forced, when y'all the main ones that's talking about it. And most likely, if a man is happily married, hey, he's not even going to be looking at another woman. So that needs to, you need to look within. Maybe your husband is not happy with you. But y'all never want to take accountability for that. Never. I ain't got to go out and look for another woman. I'm happy with my woman. I'm happy with my wife. I ain't got to go look at another woman. I ain't got to go get polygyny. Because I know my wife is good to me. And I'm good to her. But that does not mean I can't go out and do what I do as I please, as long as I'm not doing it in wickedness. And she know if I decide to go get another woman, that's just what it is. We had plenty of conversations about this. And we sat down and we got to an understanding. But the thing is, most of y'all husband is not happy within the marriage. That's why he's trying to go get another woman. Because we tell brothers all the time, hey, it's lawful, but it's not expedient. It's a lot to deal with because the woman they're not fully renewed in their minds. But I'm not about to walk around here and say it's a sin, man. I'm going to be in sin if I do that. It's going to come a point in time where the woman is going to get their act together. And we're going to be able to do it in righteousness. But I bet you, if sex wasn't involved, most of you sisters wouldn't care. But that's when self-reflection needs to come in now. 2 Corinthians 13:5. You have to examine yourself. Because like I said, I ain't got to go out and get another woman. Because I know my wife treats me right. I know my wife is doing the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And guess what? I reward her. It said a woman that fears the Lord should be rewarded. I take care of her. I pay the bills. She ain't got to want for nothing. Because she earned that. A lot of you women think you're supposed to be taken care of off the simple fact that you exist. It don't work like that. Y'all not damsels. And I'm going to keep saying it. And I know that hurt y'all pride. Y'all are not damsels. Y'all are not virgins. At the end of the day, we all should be humble. Right? But I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, B'Shem Kakadash. Shalom, Israel.